Hi, guys. I hope you're having a good day. So, I wanted to come back on and clarify and explain a little bit more about the dream I had when tons of people were at Chanda's house. And what was happening was we were all staying the night over there and we were getting ready because the next day, it was nighttime and we were all getting ready. We were all meeting at Chanda's house, and the next day we were all leaving on a cruise ship, and it was the Rapture. I knew we were going to see Jesus, and everybody was so excited. And it was a 3-part dream. The next part of it was I was with Kim Mosley, and we were walking down this. Her house, Chanda's house, like turned into like one of those houses from the Civil War. They have the pillars in the front, and they're like a Victorian or one of those types of houses. And just we were walking through these hallways, and I seen these pictures of like older great grandfathers. They were oil paintings of portraits of people, of ages gone by. And she asked me, "What do you see?" And I said, I wrote out law, Law. And the third part of the dream was I was looking out this window and onto this pasture, and this man and his son was standing outside this gate. And there were some cows pinned up. There were different sections walled out of these cows. And the man and his son, they were bringing in this bull. And I ran out there and I said, "Hurry, shut the gate to the cows because I don't want the bull to get to them." And the son shut the gate. But the dad looked at me and said, like, "What do you," I forget what he said, but he said, "They're my cows. I'm dealing with it," or "What are you worried about it?" Or I forget, you guys. But so when I was talking about that dream, the second part of the dream with Kim in it, she contacted me and she said, "Oh my goodness," because I had mentioned as I was saying the account of it, I said, "I think Kim will know this means. I don't know." But she did. She did know what it meant about the Victorian or Civil War era home. I don't know. But this is what she wrote to me, and forgive me, Kim, but I'm going to share it. Okay, here's a little background. When she was a little girl, she had a friend that was from Korea, and her dad was a colonel or something in the war, and they moved to this colonial Civil War era type house, I guess, Victorian, whatever, and it was big and beautiful, and they had slumber parties there, just like she was saying. It was amazing how we were kind of have a slumber party at Chanda's house, and then in this house, when I was a little girl in real life, in this type of Civil War house that kind of sounds like what you're explaining, we had slumber parties. And while they were really good friends, and she said that, and I'm going to share her link to her video, okay, that she made, but that Kim made, but she said that they were kind of brainiac nerd type peoples, and they taught themselves Morse code. Well, in her video, it was like a couple weeks ago or so, she was sitting there and she kept hearing this rhythm tapping in the spirit, and she finally was like, "Whoa, wait, that's Morse code." And the Lord was Morse coding to her HOME, home, in Morse code. So, and then I had seen that movie about the Russians with the Morse code. I know I brought it up many times. That was about the same time that she heard that Morse code in the spirit. And so the Lord is just leaving all these breadcrumbs, these little about what's going to happen. And I agree with her. She said this is a timeline. The first part, Rapture. Second part, War. And third part, I believe, represents Israel because it has the bull and the dad and his son standing outside. And I'm like, hey, blah, 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 you know, trying to tell him. And he's like, they're my cows anyway. What are you worried about it? Why am I worried about it? Right. I'm not even going to be here. Right. I have nothing to do with the bull or the cows. Right. I was sitting thinking, I'm like, well, what are the cows? Who are the cows represent? They're probably the people that are left behind, or they represent the Israelites. They're the Jews, and the bulls being brought in. You know, the law. Remember what Kim said when we were walking law? Okay, so this is what she wrote to me. She said, the girl I mentioned that we used to go to this big Gregorian-style Annabella mansion of hers and her family when we would have our slumber parties. This old, beautiful home was so big it was used as a hospital for the Union Army Northern during the Civil War. Also, God is trying to give us a timeline through your dream and this video here. He said home in Morse code, which this sister taught me years ago. Her friend's name from Korea was Laura. And she said, funny that Kentucky state, because she lives in Kentucky, state motto is united we stand, divided we fall, because it was truly brother against brother, since we are a border state, so not really northern state or southern state. A house divided can't stand. And Jesus said division would be under our roof in the end of days. True. Yes, and then she's talking about her girlfriend, Laura. Yes, this girlfriend was born in Korea, even though they were American, because her dad had been fighting for South Korea against the North, just like in MASH. And she goes on to say, it is a message from God to us both that this is the eve before we leave. So I agree with her. We're in the eve, like we're getting close before we leave. And then she put Chanda's house. Chanda's house became Laura's old house because that's where all us girls used to have slumber parties when we were young. Laura would host the parties like Chanda in your dream, that beautiful old in need of some repair, but still beautiful house, like us under God's grace instead of law, works in process for sure till we leave. See? God is saying this is the eve before war and rapture. It will be same event or event that kicks off the rapture. And then she says, let me send you that video. It's the one her giving her account about her hearing Morse code. And you will understand what God meant when he sent me the Morse code message home. He wanted me to make the connection to Laura and her dad being a colonel retired from Korean War. It will be them that potentially start, or we start with Korea, one or the other. As the bombs go down, we will go home. And I know I've said Russia before. I don't know when Russia gets involved over here. I have no clue. But they've made alliances over there. And they are targeting Israel right now. So I'm sitting here thinking about this, you guys. And I'm like, Chanda's out. Okay, well, what does Chanda mean? So I look it up, you guys. It means shining moon. I was blown away. There's the moon reference again. So the dream before that, I had a dream that these teenagers were eating out of a bowl, or 3 bowls, and one meant white or moon, something like that. But I think it's a sign for us, the people that believe in Jesus, that it's about time to go. And it is a bowl of wrath that is going to be taking place for the people that are left behind. And, yeah. So I think it has a double meaning, you guys. But, so then I seen this. This is today at 7:24 a.m. Israeli missiles said to hit Iranian military base being built near Damascus. Well, you know, I was mentioning something about that here in one of my last videos. Yeah, I will add the link to this article and that, and into Kim Mosley's dream about the Morse code and her friend and all the military ties and everything. But I think it's a timeline. It's Rapture, and there's the moon reference again. You know, it's the eve. We're in this time period of the eve of going home, and the second part represents war, And the third part, we're not even going to be here. It's going on with Israel. And so I love you guys, and I hope you're having a great day.